This company is the most important in the world. It has generated over $4 trillion in revenue and forms the backbone of modern technology. Investors call it the most important company ever known, because without it, there's no iPhone, no AI, no self-driving cars. It's the sword the United States uses to dominate China, yet it sits on a tiny island that both nations are fighting to control. This is TSMC. When I compare this company to Google, they seem to share a lot in common: innovation, influence, and scale. But here's the thing. How did the world's most powerful chipmaker, once untouchable, reach the brink of collapse? And what happens if TSMC truly follows? In 1931, a boy named Morris Chang was born in mainland China. During the Chinese Civil War, he moved to Taiwan and later to the United States, where he earned a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. After graduation, he joined Texas Instruments as an engineer, right when the semiconductor revolution was beginning. Therefore, Morris began to see how the industry worked. He realized that for companies to make real profits, they needed to outsource chip production. This insight shaped his vision of a new kind of business, one that would manufacture chips for other companies.
But TSMC isn't just a company, it's a powerhouse that keeps modern technology alive. Without it, there would be no iPhone, no electric cars, no AI. Nothing that defines our digital age. In 2019, it became one of the most important companies in the world. Its revenue surged by 30%, fueled by the global demand for AI and 5G chips. Because TSMC operates as a pure-play foundry, it doesn't compete with its clients like Apple, Qualcomm, or AMD. Therefore, every major tech company relies on TSMC to bring their ideas to life. This neutral model allowed TSMC to control 60% of the global chip market and more than 90% of the most advanced chip nodes on Earth. By 2024, the company had committed $65 billion to build 3 new wafer fabs, with the first entering production the same year. Because the demand showed no sign of slowing, it announced another $100 billion investment for 3 more fabs, 2 IC assembly plants, and a cutting-edge R&D center, creating a mega fab cluster focused on 2nm and A16 technology. But let's zoom out for a second. In 1949, during the Chinese Civil War, there was no place on the map called Taiwan, just a small island off the coast of China. Because Mao Zedong's Communist Party won the war, the defeated nationalist movement, KMT, fled to that island. This retreat included government officials, soldiers, and citizens loyal to the nationalist cause. That's how Taiwan became their new home. But to truly understand why this war even began, we have to go further back. After the collapse of the Qing dynasty in 1911, Sun Yat-sen founded the Republic of China. He was later succeeded by Yuan Shikai, who tried and failed to declare himself emperor. Because of that failure, China fell into chaos, split among regional warlords who fought for control. Therefore, Sun Yat-sen's party, the Kuomintang, KMT, formed a rival government in Guangzhou to reunify the country. When the West refused to help, Sun turned to the Soviet Union for support. The result was decades of civil war, a bloody conflict that killed millions and drove countless refugees to Taiwan. Because of this history, China still views Taiwan as part of its territory, not as an independent nation. In Chinese culture, it's seen as taboo for their land to be divided. China's One China policy means that all of China, including Taiwan, must unite under one leader. But beneath this political slogan lies something deeper: power. Taiwan's location is geopolitically crucial. It sits at the heart of the Asia-Pacific, surrounded by vital sea routes that connect global trade and military supply lines. Whoever controls Taiwan controls both the future of technology and the world's most important waterways. Therefore, China sees reclaiming Taiwan not just as a matter of pride, but as a strategic necessity. Over the years, it has built a powerful military-industrial complex designed to take Taiwan by force if needed. Reclaiming Taiwan would assert China's sovereignty and weaken U.S. influence in the region. Because of that, the United States has spent decades building military bases around China to contain its expansion, creating one of the tensest standoffs in modern history. But while these two superpowers prepare for conflict, Taiwan faces a crisis of its own. Its semiconductor workforce, the very people who make TSMC possible, is aging rapidly. According to McKinsey, nearly 1/3 of Taiwan's chip engineers are over 55, with many nearing retirement. Therefore, Taiwan risks losing decades of institutional knowledge just as the global demand for chips hits record highs. And here's the question no one is asking. If China takes Taiwan, what happens to the world?
If China takes over Taiwan, the entire global economy could collapse overnight. Because Taiwan, through TSMC, dominates advanced chip manufacturing, an invasion wouldn't just be a political crisis, it would trigger a global supply shock. Therefore, industries everywhere, from consumer electronics to automotive, AI, and defense, would face immediate disruption. Factories would shut down, product launches would stall, prices would skyrocket. The world would suddenly realize how much it depends on one tiny island. But the consequences go far beyond economics. If China gains control over Taiwan's chip infrastructure, it would gain access to the most advanced semiconductor technology on Earth, the very hardware that powers artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and military systems. Therefore, control of TSMC would give China a massive technological advantage, potentially reshaping global power. But it's not that simple. Running those sophisticated fabs isn't easy. They depend on American, Japanese, and Dutch technologies, machines, software, and materials that China doesn't yet fully possess. Because of that dependency, even if China took control, it might not be able to operate the fabs effectively without foreign cooperation. And that's where things get even more dangerous. The United States and its allies have already made it clear they will defend Taiwan. Therefore, any invasion wouldn't just be an economic disaster, it could spark a full-scale global conflict. Because of these interconnections, the world's economy could lose trillions of dollars, potentially up to 10% of global GDP, as supply chains collapse and industries grind to a halt. TSMC isn't just a company anymore. It's the linchpin of global stability. But here's the terrifying truth. The more powerful TSMC becomes, the more fragile the world gets.